Chapter 1. 1867, England. He always received the virgins. Really, it wasn't fair. Alex sighed in disgust and sank into the wing-back chair, the antique legs protesting with a creak. The decorative Baroque style was more for show and offered only the facade of comfort, much like his life. Just once, he'd like a woman who knew what she wanted, what she was capable of. A woman who would take charge and please him. But it wasn't about him. It never had been. It never would be. His necktie felt suddenly too tight, the room too warm. With experienced fingers, he tugged the snowy white material loose. At Lady Lavender's estate of seduction, evening wear was a requirement. Resisting the urge to fidget with his clothing, he tapped his fingers against the curved walnut arm of the chair, impatient to leave, impatient to begin the evening and get the entire ordeal over with. But, like a lad at supper, he couldn't leave until she excused him. Bloody hell! Ophelia glanced up sharply from behind her desk. Shite! Had he said that aloud? Her amethyst eyes flashed eerily under the glow of the gas chandeliers she'd recently had installed throughout the first floor of the estate. When most of England was straining its eyes under candle and lamplight, Lady Lavender read in ease, "Watch your language." It wasn't an elegant woman's desk made of delicate scrolls that she resided behind. It was a man's desk, massive, domineering. It was the only thing about her that wasn't feminine. She was proving a point with that desk. Although her business revolved around the pleasuring of women, it was still a business, and she treated her business as a man would. No feelings, no attachments, no excuses. Taking a page from her book, Alex refused to apologize for his use of profanity, but he did manage that charming smirk that had made him famous with his clients. Inside he seethed. He was bloody sick of apologizing. His stubbornness gained him nothing but contempt. Her icy gaze continued to drill into him. She didn't back down. She wouldn't. Ophelia, or Lady Lavender as the world knew her, held the impression of a lady, but underneath she was as heartless as any male brothel owner. 12 years ago, her cold gaze would have had him shifting with unease. Hell, even 4 years ago. Now he barely cared. Ending their silent war, she sighed and stood. "Why must you be so difficult lately?" He didn't bother to answer. What he had to say would merely get him into trouble, again. She strolled toward him, those rounded hips swathed in the finest of imported silks, although it was early spring and most women still wore wool. Her lavender gown, narrow at the waist, flared into a bell of frills and ribbons that ended at satin slippers. Completely inappropriate for the chill English weather, completely inappropriate for a woman who must be at the very least 40, yet looked more of 20. Even in the privacy of her office she wore the highest of fashion, in imitation of Queen Victoria, she said, and Ophelia was a queen, if only queen of her own sinful domain. Even now, 12 years after the day she'd practically forced him into prostitution, Ophelia was still beautiful. Not a speck of grey in that white blonde hair, not a wrinkle around those amethyst eyes, not a hint of time. When others aged, she didn't seem to. A pact with the devil, Gideon always muttered. Perhaps he was right. She idly drew her hand down the blue velvet curtains, glancing casually out the windows. Did she truly see the beauty of the setting sun, or was she ignorant of something so pure? "Have I not given you shelter?" she asked, her voice holding that slight accent he couldn't quite identify. "Have I not fed you, clothed you in the finest of suits?" She glanced pointedly at his silk vest and black trousers with thin grey stripes, the highest of fashion.